You know the trend at this point. You make a woke, crazy game. It's terrible. Then you cry victim once the gamers don't like it. It is tried and true. It happens all the time. And now it's happening with Dustborn because they made a terrible game. It's been such a joke that people are actually on Twitter talking about it, saying, is this a right-wing parody of wokeism? Because it's so ridiculous. And we'll get into the news in just a moment about the terrible tidal wave of hate and abuse that this poor fellow is getting. You can't make this stuff up. My name's John Delarose, and I get actually the biggest tidal waves of abuse, believe it or not, just because I report on this stuff. I'm the victim here. What the heck? I just laugh at the people, and it makes them very, very frustrated. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose the problems in culture, from gaming to science fiction to everything else. And I hope you'll join us here and hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate everybody who's here. We're almost hitting 32,000 subscribers. I think we can get there this weekend if you join us, and I appreciate you for being here. So I've also got a Kickstarter open right now. This is a graphic novel called The Hidden Emperor, and if you don't know, comic books have the same trajectory as video games, maybe even worse as far as all the wokeism goes. So I'm making my own in an attempt to do something better. And this is a very, very fun science fiction graphic novel. You can see we're super successful, $32,000 already, and it's our second best seller of all time. We're about, I think, $1,200 away from making it our bestseller of all time. So you can help us get there this weekend. It's in the description below. Grab a great graphic novel. Have a good read. Support the channel. Easy stuff. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, so Red Thread Games, the developer for Dustborn, claimed the conversation around the game has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. It's really interesting. You make a super political game that's like obviously going to be a middle finger to anybody who actually likes gaming. It's going to be something that's got extreme politics to it, and then you complain when there's a little like reaction to it. It's like, why would you do that? You did this intentionally. This is what you wanted. This is, in fact, the only way the game was ever going to get attention, because it looks so atrocious. If it didn't have this controversy surrounding it, nobody would even know what Dustborn is. It is the wokest game of the year by far. It's absolute failure, destruction. And there's been, of course, some uncoverings that this crap has had a bunch of government funding to try to push this as well. It's been a big scandal out there all the way around. Your tax dollars at work, everybody. So in a post to the company's official X account, it wrote, since we first announced Dustborn, we've read all your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes, and wishes for the game. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that's deeply meaningful to us. A story about the power of words, about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, friendships, and robots, of course. Yeah, immediately, like they literally want a safe space. It's like, wow, this is ridiculous. And it just goes to show how thin-skinned and weird these people are. The power of words. Get over yourselves. These are the type of people that say that words are literally violence, and it's like, oh gosh, it's so cringy. They continued, we expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate, and looked forward to engaging with our partners in a positive and constructive fashion. Unfortunately, the conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. It's called criticism and mockery. You made a stupid-looking game. You made something that was so woke. It's insulting to anybody's intelligence who even looks at it. There's nobody actually interested in this game for real because there's no market for this. And so the only reason this was found and discovered at all is because of the aforementioned controversy. So you set out to make this, you got what you wanted, now you're complaining about it. It's really funny stuff out there. It then declared, we welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. Yeah, right. All criticism ends up with this kind of thing. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech. There we go. Harassment and threats of any kind. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community. Oh, please clap, everybody. The community of 5 people who are all the developers. To everyone else, thank you for coming on this journey with us. Your support means everything. Your constructive feedback continues to push us to learn and evolve. Together, let's continue building a world where everyone can feel valued and empowered to share their stories. So let's go share. Let's see what the valued stories are on their thread right now, because you know that they've got some valued and thread shared stories. Wow, they've got about as many followers as me. Interesting. Not very much here. Oh, they turned off comments. But that's okay, everybody, because there's quote tweets. They always do this. Like, they value the discussion. They value the debate. They get a little pushback, and so they turn off comments. These people know what they're doing. When they play victim like this, it's a complete lie. They set out to agitate people. They set out to upset gamers. They set out to do this kind of thing to tell you you're a bad person for being white or male or Christian. And that is exactly the whole entire intention. And then they got pushback, and so they shut off comments because they don't actually value discussion, debate, or criticism. They lie about everything. SJWs always lie. They always double down. This is what they do 100% of the time. So let's actually look at the quote tweets since they refused discussion. Matthew here says, "Are you retarded? These are literally your gameplay mechanics. Also, what community?" That's right. Nobody. Yes, here it is. "We've learned to bully people. Bully gives us power to force people to do something they may not want to do, to make them feel bad about themselves. In fights, this could be highly effective with targeted enemies." Oh my gosh. "We've learned how to cancel someone. Cancel will allow us to isolate people from their friends and compatriots. In battle, this could be a useful tool against enemies." This is pretty interesting, and this is why people say this reads like a right-wing parody of what the left wing is, but they're serious. They are dead serious about this stuff. "We've learned how to normalize negative emotions, and let's forget, we've learned how to sow discord." Cool. Yeah. So obviously they're complete hypocrites, as it's shown right now, and everybody keeps showing this. Doesn't really look like a game about love and friendship to me. Bro just DM them about the community. 31 players right now, 45 players peak, 83 all-time high. That's a disaster for how much money was sunk into this game. Absolutely, but it wasn't their own money. It was just government money, so they don't care. And that's what it all comes about. "A story feels about the power of words, building a world where everyone can feel safe." Also, Red Thread Games. And then they mentioned that nobody can actually reply to their tweets here. "We don't tolerate harassment. This is literally a skill in the game." Womp womp. They're shown to be hypocrites and liars every single time they do this kind of thing. And that's why people reject this. I mean, honestly, if they had any kind of like real sort of like, just normalcy of, hey, look, we just want everybody to be able to play our game. That's what inclusivity should mean. Nobody ever bothers anybody over stuff like that. It's always the fact that like they say that, and then they direct hate one way, which is always the right wing. It's always towards whites, males, and Christians, and they say that those people have to be excluded for their inclusivity. It's a complete lie. It's a complete failure of an ideology, and it's a failure of a video game because everything ends up being false in this kind of thing. Ridiculous. The game's publisher, Quantic Dream, also said, "We want to express our heartfelt support at our partners at Red Thread Games. We stand united against hate in all its forms and are committed to fostering communities built on understanding and respect." It's really interesting, and they also turned off replies. Their community is just them. It's a little circle jerk, and that's all it is. It's probably the only people playing it are people involved with the game to begin with, or their families or friends, and that's it. And again, they just stole a bunch of government money, ran with it, and didn't actually help anything in the process. They didn't create a game that anybody wanted to play. Madam Savvy says, "You haven't engaged with anyone, though. In fact, your own dev threw hate at the concept of crowdfunding, despite you being funded with taxpayer dollars from several sources. One is a choice, the other is not. But support is never mandatory for anyone, and the concept of tax dollars going to this does not spark joy. I want to have a real dialogue about your story because it's an interesting narrative, and I don't understand what message you were going for." You do understand what message they were going for. They were going for a message that Antifa is good. They want to push actually radical violence in the name of left-wing concepts. And they want to try to brainwash people with that, with the use of government dollars. And they want to brainwash everybody into this diversity concept where you're supposed to hate white males. And I'm not mincing words about this stuff. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people try to tone that down and say, oh, we just wanted apolitical. No. These are evil. This is an evil ideology, and it should be called out as such. And you could see it here. It's complete hypocrisy. These people are sick. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, everybody. And please back the Hidden Emperor graphic novel on Kickstarter right now. Appreciate you for being here.